What's up, Embermine community? It's Austin Geyser, the lead developer. So, you guys have probably noticed that we went to NamesCon. Probably wondering to yourselves, well, what did you guys do at NamesCon? Well, one thing we did do is we revealed a interesting little proof of concept for none other than domain token. So, this is just going to be a quick video rundown on how it works, what it does, and we'll do a little test of this demo. There will be another video that will explain more in detail our design choices. How to set up a similar system, because this isn't in any way, shape, or form the final system. But we think it's a really interesting look on doing something like this on the Ethereum network, not necessarily on Techne, but on Ethereum. So this, however, so first you start off here at domaintoken.herokuapp.com because we're really cheap here at Embermine. We want to use our dollars correctly. We are using a free Docker container hosting service to currently host this web app. So what we do is we click in here, we register a domain. So what domain do we want to do? I wonder if demo10.dom. Let's just register this and click go. So we get a transaction hash, and then we can go and we can open a new tab and check out what we've got going on here. Now, as you can imagine, this is not on the mainnet, so it's just play money right now because there's no reason for us to be testing and building on the mainnet because it would be quite expensive. Doing hundreds of transactions, them costing about five or six cents per transaction can get a little pricey. So we just wait for this to confirm. Once it confirms here, we will see what actually happens, and then I can go into a little bit more detail on how this works. But in the very basic gist, there's a contract on Ethereum network that will take our domain names and then commit them to its own memory. Let's refresh the page here. Oh, network might be just a bit slow right now. Let's go back here. So while that confirms, you get your transaction. You can check the registrations that the account currently has registered. So this is just a dev account that we have set up here with the play money and everything. That has all the registers that have happened. Now, the interesting thing is that if I can go into here, I can go into this transaction, which we did one day ago. We can check our event logs, and we can see what we did here. Oops, not number. Nope. Thank you. So this transaction was specific. It was for our current address that we have going on here. And it was a specific transaction. If we convert to ASCII, there's these little flags up here that tell us what kind of transaction it was. You can't determine that with an ASCII switcher, but the realmwalker.dom and then this IP address, which is actually a real IP address that we can see. So it's just a general relationship that you get. So now, with this transaction, it's slightly different. This is the ownership transaction, so the registration transaction. So here's demo.dom and then the address that it owns. So that owns demo.dom. So in theory, these little guys, I mean, could feel like an ERC20 token. They could act like ERC20 tokens. In the way that you can own them, you can transfer them. The only difference is instead of you having a specific amount of ERC20 tokens, you have a domain token, if you will. That's high air quotes. We really haven't come up with any good name for this. You would have that, but it would store some kind of data, like an endpoint. So as of right now, we only have an IP address that it points to. So that's great. We have now registered a domain. So now what we can do is we can say, all right, well, let's set our endpoint for demo10.dom. Demo10 .dom. Now, this web app has got the development account hard coded in, so it's pretty. It's not very useful if you're going to be using it like from a production standpoint. But this is just demo code. This is something we just took to NamesCon because we thought, hey, we're gonna take a week and a half to make something really nice for the folks at NamesCon to see, to use, to see what we're all about, see what blockchain really can do for us. So let's just, for the sake of argument, let's just do what's an IP address that I know already. Let's just do this one here, which I know goes to a server that doesn't show anything. So we will just copy that in, hit go. The same sort of situation happens. You get a verify button. You can click in and see how long it's going to take for that transaction to process, or if you will that bit of data be committed to the contract's array of values that it has jurisdiction over. So while that happens, you kind of understand like how this sort of works on the high level. You make a transaction, you commit data to the contract. It then gives you data that's, you own specifically the every domain that you register, quote unquote, and then that domain has data attached to it. So we can do a lot of different things actually with this. We don't have to even just accept IP addresses. We could accept multiple things. Currently, though, the code is pretty specific, just to allow for some very simple, proof of concept sort of work. So let's just cancel out of these. Now, at the conference, we had a few folks come up to the booth and register their domains. So one of the folks was latintld.com. They provide domain name needs for Latin America. If you live in any of those places, these are the guys you need to go to in order to get their, to get a domain name, to get a TLD. So amazing, right? Now watch this right now, and you'll probably be like, well, wait, what the heck just happened here? Hold on for a second. So wait a second. LatinTLD.dom. This isn't bullshit. This isn't some trickery. This is actually happening. This is domain resolution with the .dom domain. And you're probably shitting yourself right now, but that's, sorry about that. So what's going on here is we have a DNS server. We've put it in the cloud, but you could run it locally. You could have it anywhere, really. And so let me show you what's going on here. So if I open up, let's go to the status. Come on now. It's being silly. Connect to database. Let's do that. Yeah. So if we connect to our SQL server in the cloud, we can look at. That's the one we want, not that one. We can actually see. We can check the table and see what we have here. So look, right here, we've got demo.dom. So we got a start of authority record, and then we got a demo.dom a record, which is just an IP address. So very, very simple, very, very basic. But just to test, well, can we build an application stack that actually does this? So that's pretty much it from a very, from a high level. We've got a DNS, so we have an Ethereum contract. We have a DNS server. The DNS server listens for changes on that contract and then commits the correct data into its database when it is ready. And then my computer is connected to it, the DNS server, instead of 8.8.8 or whatever your DNS servers that you use. Probably most people just use DNS servers given to them by their ISP, but instead we changed it to our DNS server. And I can go to other places too. I can go to Google, google.com. It works just the same, except I also have access to the DOM registry. So that is what we've done in about 1.5 weeks. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time.